What's up guys, Moses Bygate-Smith here, back with another video with Power and Prowess. And today I'm bringing you guys part 3, which is the final part of the Plyometric Progression series that I've been bringing out. So already I've covered extensive and intensive plyometrics, which was the first progression that I introduced as part of the part 1 of the series. And in part 2 I dove a little bit deeper and I went into more specific realms of the plyometric progressions. So I looked at covering low impact versus high impact. I looked at covering obviously a little more depth into the extensive and intensive, bilateral and unilateral, and stuff of that nature. Now, the final part of this series that I'm going to be covering is a little bit about specificity. So specificity is basically just how specific your training task or movement pattern is relative to the sport that you compete in. So an example is for basketball, the most specific forms of jumps that you could do if you're looking to train sport-specific vertical jumping, in basketball that is rebounding, layups, dunking, stuff like that. Okay, and then if you move to the other side of the continuum, you've got your more general, less specific jumping. So things like stationary squat jumps, rear foot elevated squat jumps, barbell squat jumps, stuff like that. So the way that I like to progress plyometrics in that sort of context is starting with your really general work and then shifting down the continuum towards your specific work. Now, the reason why this is because of basically laying a base, and also a big part of it isn't just performance enhancement, but it's performance enhancement through injury prevention. So with the gradual working down the specificity continuum, you end up avoiding what's called motor pattern overload, or just basic overtraining from a motor pattern perspective. So what you get a lot of the time, especially very commonly in most sports, is overtraining or overuse injuries through means of motor pattern overload. So what that means is you're performing the same movement over and over again, and because of this repeated exposure to the same pattern, the body adapts quickly, like it does to many stimuli that you elicit on it. But you get this overtraining effect where your body has just had enough. You've put the same stimulus upon it multiple times, and this repeated exposure leads to many overuse injuries, examples including patellar tendonitis, Achilles tendonitis, basically just bodily inflammation in general. So what happens is, to start off with, whether you're in your off season or your pre-season, you start off with laying the base. So you have a lot of different patterns that intertwine and will eventually work towards the final end product. So if you're a basketball player, you're looking at optimizing your sport-specific vertical jumping. So early on, you're looking at various different types of squat jumps. You're trying out different ranges of motion. You can try full depth squat jumps. You can try squat jumps with a pause. You can try single leg squat jumps. You can even try different movement planes. So that's a little bit where the specificity can come into as well. Of course, vertical jumping is not the only form of power output that's plastered throughout the sport. In change of direction, you've obviously got the lateral deceleration off of one foot. So you can do lateral bounding. You've even, obviously, with the linear sprinting and stuff like that, you've got a horizontal power output there. So you can incorporate some broad jumps or any sort of single leg bounding for horizontal distance. So there you have it. That's just a little bit about the part 3 series regarding plyometric progressions. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I will be bringing out more stuff like this very, very soon. But yeah, leave a comment in below the video if you guys want anything specific covered, and stay tuned for more. Thanks, guys.